You may not be familiar with the name Fischer motorcycles, but if you're looking to buy a brand new American-built sport bike, it may be your best and only choice. Located on Maryland's scenic eastern shore, Fischer Motor Company is now America's only sport bike manufacturer. Founder and former AMA racer Dan Fischer saw not only a hole in the market, but an opportunity as well.
It seemed to us that there was a void in the market for an affordable sport bike that was consistent with the products people were buying from overseas, but made in America. This is the biggest market in the world, but there was nothing on the market that was as good as the Japanese product and as good as the European product, but affordable and built in the US.
That vision has become reality in a 20,000 square foot factory in Pocomoke City, Maryland, where a handful of employees assemble their first offering, the MRX. The bikes are based around the industry's only one-piece, twin-spar aluminum alloy frame, with a history that few other motorcycles can match.
Well, the frame actually has a history tracing back to the Grand Prix frames from the 90s and 80s even, and then that evolved into what became the Harley-Davidson VR1000 Superbike platform. That was considered one of the best handling bikes in the world, and when Harley pulled the plug on that program, I contracted the company that manufactured that frame to develop a frame for us.
One thing not made here in the US is the motor.
Well, the engine is manufactured in South Korea by a company called Hyosung. It's a 90-degree V-twin, liquid-cooled, a really nice, reliable, high-performance engine. It uses a lot of the same transmission and other components as the other Japanese and Asian brands you're familiar with.
With the help of Ram Air, the 647cc twin puts out a more than adequate 80 horsepower and 52 pound-feet of torque, sending power through a typical 6-speed transmission and chain-drive sport bike setup. Feeding the engine is a pair of rather low-tech Mikuni carburetors, but fuel injection will soon be available. Unexpected components include adjustable Olin suspension parts and Brembo brakes. If you like straight lines and sharp edges, you'll love the styling of the MRX. It's about as different as it can be while still looking like a track-ready sport bike. The fuel tank consists of a 4.6-gallon injection-molded fuel cell with plastic side covers, and the exhaust winds its way up to an underseat muffler which sounds awesome both at idle and full song. Obviously, there's only room for one on this leather-covered seat, which is actually way more comfortable than it looks. So far, great story, but what's this US-built Korean-powered rocket like to ride? Well, as you would expect in a bike designed by a former racer, lightweight and nimble are two words that come to mind. The adjustable suspension is easily tuned for an aggressive corner carving setup, however, it's not too harsh for daily driver duties. The riding position is certainly aggressive, with high-mounted pegs and low clip-ons, but not quite to the point of being pain-inducing. The powertrain is smooth. It's the first bike I've been on in a while with carbs and an actual choke, but it was well sorted out and power delivery is immediate. For a first-run, hand-built machine, finished just a few hours before our test ride, the bike didn't feel cobbled together at all. It felt more like a motorcycle that has been in production for years. Custom frame, high-end components, made in the USA, that all adds up to a price of $7,995. That's right, for $8 grand you can buy a genuinely impressive sport bike built right here in the US. So what makes Dan Fischer think he can succeed where many other bike builders have failed before him?
For us, it's all about the product. And if you build a really quality product that people want to buy, and it's affordable, and you make profit at it, then I think everything else will follow.
Based on my experience, and with a business plan like that, I wouldn't bet against it.